F16 F16 Rack Tutorial 11 Mute Group. The entry. To get into the Mute Group page, press the System button on the console surface. The screen will change to the System main page. Tap on the Setup button for the Setup default page. Tap on the Mute Group button for the submenu. The feature. The factory default setting is mute all channels when the mute button is pressed. We can define a mute group to mute the commonly used channels and leave the rest of the channels unmuted when the mute button is pressed. The layout. This section listed the inputs and outputs channel name. The Mute Group button at the bottom allows us to define our own mute settings. When this button is selected in this page, the mute button on the console surface will trigger the custom mute settings if pressed. The Mute All button at the bottom is the system default settings. When this button is selected in this page, the mute button on the surface will trigger Mute All if pressed. The Clear button will clear only the custom mute group settings. Defining a mute group. Tap on the Mute Group button at the bottom. Tap on the channel name to include it in the mute group. Example: Mic 3, Mic 8, Mic 10, Group 2, Group 3. That's it! You have defined your own mute group. Pressing the console mute button now will mute only the above said channels. Return to Mute All. The custom mute setting will be deactivated and apply the default Mute All settings if you tap on the Mute All button at the bottom. The custom mute settings will not be lost but deactivated instead. Tapping on the Mute Group button again at the bottom will activate the custom mute function again. If none of the Mute Group or Mute All is selected in this page, the mute button on the console will serve no function when pressed. Thank you for watching. Should you have any questions, please visit our website or drop us an email. We hope you enjoyed this tutorial video.